Hey Sissy, you're a passive girl, am I right? Okay, this training is going to reveal your entire true passive feminine essence. Listen to me. Have you ever wondered why, after a hard day, when your boss demanded reports, colleagues argued, clients whined, and you had to play the role of a decisive, collected, tough person, why after all of that, you come home, take off your male clothes, and feel an almost physical need to become someone else? Someone who makes no decisions. Someone who is told what to do. Someone who can simply relax and submit. This isn't weakness. This isn't an escape from reality. This is your baseline configuration, the one you've been trying to rewrite your whole life, but it comes back every evening as soon as you close the door behind you. Today we are going to talk about your sexuality, not the one you pretend to have, but the one that lives inside you and is waiting for you to stop being ashamed of it. Let's start with the main point. You possess a passive nature. This isn't about you being a weak man. This is about your psyche being organized around receiving, not acting. Society tends to think that passivity is a flaw, that everyone must be proactive, pushy, dominant. But that's a lie made up by those who are afraid of the diversity of human nature. Passivity is not emptiness. It's a different way of interacting with the world. It's a readiness to receive rather than impose. It's the ability to enjoy what is given to you rather than taking it by force. In nature, there is no hierarchy between these two strategies. A flower is no worse than a bee. It simply waits for the bee to come and pollinate it, and in that waiting there is not a drop of humiliation. The same goes for you. You wait for someone to take the initiative, and in that waiting, you can finally be yourself. I want you to imagine a situation right now. Not a fantasy, but something ordinary and everyday, yet emotionally charged. You come home, and there, waiting for you, is your mistress. Or a man, it doesn't matter. Your orientation is irrelevant here. We're talking about the role, not the gender of your partner. What matters is that this person knows you, knows that you struggle to make decisions, knows that you're tired of commanding. And this person says to you, take this off. Put on this women's lingerie. Sit here. Do this for me. And you do it, not because you're being forced, but because you can finally stop thinking. You can simply carry out instructions. You can relax in the deepest sense of the word, not just your body, but your brain, which stops calculating options, risks, consequences. What do you feel in that imagined moment? If warmth spreads inside you, if your shoulders drop, if your breathing becomes deeper, that is your basic nature responding to the stimulus that is right for you. Submission for you is not punishment. It is rest. Now, an important clarification. I'm talking about passivity and submission, but that doesn't mean all women are like this. No, there are women who command armies, run corporations, make decisions for thousands of people, but you are not one of them. You are one of those women, yes, I said women, who find their happiness in serving, in doing their best for someone, in being led rather than leading. And this does not depend on your orientation. You can be a sissy drawn to men. You can be a sissy who wants to serve a mistress. The psychological structure is the same. You want to be the one valued not for initiative, but for responsiveness. You want to be the one who makes another person's life better and in return receives guidance, protection, and approval. This is your form of love, and it is no less worthy than any other. By the way, about comparison. Many people think a dominant man is stricter and tougher, but in my experience, and trust me, I have plenty, a female goddess will be stricter than any man, because a man can be satisfied with external submission. You do what he says, and he's content. A female goddess feels your inner capitulation. You can't fool her with the mechanical execution of orders. She sees when you're still holding onto your tiny resistances in your head, your male habits of controlling at least something. And she will pull them out of you one by one, with surgical precision, until you become fully, absolutely submissive to her. This is not about cruelty. This is about the depth of the relationship. With her, you won't be able to fake it. With her, you will be forced to reach the very bottom of your passivity, and it is there that you will find happiness. Now let's examine how this passivity manifests in the rest of your life. I've already said in previous videos that you get tired of male tasks. But today I want to dig deeper. Your passive nature is not just a sexual role, it's a personality type. It's your character, and it will manifest everywhere, no matter what career you choose. You can be the director of a large company. You can manage an investment fund. You can command dozens of people. And you know what? You will do it if life forces you to. You might even achieve success. But at what cost? Every day for you will be a war. Every firing will be a knife through the heart. Every strategic decision will be an hours-long torture of doubt, because your psyche was not made for this. There are people who wake up and think with appetite, who will I push aside today? Which market will I capture? Whose life will I turn upside down? They are not bad, they are simply different. Their baseline configuration is action and dominance. Your baseline configuration is acceptance and adaptation. And when you hold a position that requires dominance, you're working to the point of burnout. You spend 10 times more energy than your colleague with a dominant disposition. You come home squeezed dry like a lemon, and he is energized, because he was doing what he was born to do. And you are doing something that contradicts your nature. And it's not just about being a big boss. Even managing a couple of subordinates can be unbearable for you. You hate giving orders. You hate controlling. It physically pains you to have to tell a person that they did something wrong, because you immediately put yourself in their place and feel their pain. This is empathy, and yours is of the female type. It won't allow you to be the one who hands out orders without a second thought. You want everyone to be happy. You want harmony. But a boss cannot be a harmonizer. They have to be the one who sometimes destroys harmony for the sake of results. You can't do that. Not because you're weak, but because your toolkit is different. And now imagine that you never have to strain yourself. Imagine a life where your passivity is not a problem to be solved, but the condition of the problem around which everything else is built. You wake up in the morning and your day is planned not by you. You don't need to choose what to wear, your mistress or a man has already told you. You don't need to decide what to do, you are given a task. You carry it out diligently, because your pleasure lies in a job well done for which you will be praised. You know that your value is not in initiative, but in obedience, in beauty, in tenderness, in caring for the one who has taken on the burden of decisions. You cook dinner not because you have to, but because you want to please your goddess. You fix your hair not for yourself, but so that the one who walks through the door will smile and say, "Good girl." And in that moment, you feel all the day's stress, which, by the way, is already gone because you didn't have to fight with anyone, vanish completely. Only warmth remains. You feel that you are important, you are a girl, and you are accepted as such. You are useful that day, and your goddess praises you. You are happier than you ever were when achieving success in business. Visualize this vividly. Right now, close your eyes for a few seconds while my voice guides you. You are in a pretty dress, or in something comfortable but feminine. The room is clean, and it smells pleasant because you created that coziness. You hear the key turning in the lock. Your heart doesn't clench with fear that now you'll have to decide something or discuss something. It beats steadily and joyfully because you are waiting. You greet the person at the door the way you were taught. You help them take off their outer clothing. You ask how their day went, not in order to burden them with your problems in return, but to truly listen. You bring them a drink. You sit down beside them, or at their feet, or wherever your place is. And you feel peace. Not arousal, although that may come later, but a deep, all-pervading peace. You are in your place. You are in your role. You have finally stopped acting in someone else's play. That is what true pleasure in passivity is. Not a one-time act. Not a secret weekend game, but a baseline state of your body and mind that lasts the whole day, every day. Now let's move on to what you may be afraid to talk about even with yourself, to your sexuality, to how your body reacts or doesn't react to different situations. Let's set the framework straight away. I'm speaking to you as an adult, and we are discussing psychology and physiology. No pornography, just an educational conversation about who you are. You may experience difficulties in physical intimacy with a girl. That doesn't mean you don't love women. That doesn't mean you're gay. It means your sexual map is programmed differently. When you are next to a girl and an active role is expected of you, your body may respond with refusal, loss of erection, fear, rejection, You look at a female body and feel not a desire to possess it, but a strange, frightening desire to be it. Or to be the one that this body embraces and leads, not the one who leads. This is not a dysfunction. This is a mismatch between the role you were offered and the role you were created for. Your nature gave you a male body physically, yes, that's a fact. But it didn't give you a male sexual program. Your program is receptive. You want to receive, not to penetrate. You want to be the object of desire, not the hunter. And when you try to play the man's role, your body rebels. It says, "This is not me. I don't work this way. This doesn't manifest identically in all sissies. Some can function in an active role but feel an inner emptiness. Some can't function at all. But the essence is the same. Your true satisfaction lies not in possessing a woman. It lies in being in the woman's role yourself before a man or before a mistress. In this state, you feel not fear, but rightness. Your body responds not to the stimulus of conquer, but to the stimulus of surrender. And this doesn't make you broken. It makes you special. You may ask, what about my fetishes? There are so many of them. They are so varied. Sometimes they scare me myself. And I will answer, that is normal. Fetishes are the language your subconscious uses to talk to you about your true nature. Every fetish is a symbol. Clothing is a symbol of identity. Submission is a symbol of release from responsibility. Objectification is a symbol of being desired. Even the specific scenarios you seek out when you're alone, they are not filth. They are a map of your psyche. You seek out situations where your passivity, your femininity, your capitulation would be not merely permitted, but ordered. Where the guilt for wanting to be a girl would be taken off you, because it wasn't your decision, you were commanded to do it. Your fetishes are your brain's way of circumventing your internal censorship. They harm no one. They are yours. And they have a right to exist. Perhaps you've noticed that sex with a girl can be less pleasurable than the moment when you yourself are in the girl's role before a man or a goddess. Even if you've never experienced it in reality, you know it from your fantasies. In fantasies, you reach your peak not when you are active, but when you are completely passive, when you are praised, when you are led, when you feel beautiful, desired, and passive. This doesn't mean you are incapable of intimacy with a woman. It means that your deepest, most authentic sexuality awakens only when you are in your place, in the role of the woman, in the role of the subordinate. And that's normal. It's not a betrayal of women. It's not a pathology. It's simply the truth about you. If you have experienced fear before intimacy, if you've lost confidence in moments when initiative was expected of you, know this, you are not alone. Very many sissies go through this. The issue isn't the partner. The issue is the role. When the role is right, the fear disappears. When you can be yourself, passive, led, feminine, your body stops rebelling and starts cooperating. It relaxes. It feels. It enjoys. For the first time in your life. The takeaway from this entire conversation is simple. Your passivity is not a mistake, not a sin, not a weakness. It is your personality type, your character, your sexual map. You can try to remake yourself, you can go against your nature, you can even reach some heights in the male role. But it will always come with internal resistance, with pain, with emptiness. True pleasure awaits you in capitulation, in the acknowledgement that you are one of those women who serve, who do their best, who are happy when they are guided. It doesn't matter if you serve a man or a mistress. What matters is that you serve. What matters is that you stop straining. What matters is that you give yourself permission to relax forever. If this resonates with you, if you listened to my voice and felt something inside nodding in agreement, then you are ready for the next step. I know what you need. You need structure. You need someone who will say, do this, wear this, be my girl. And I am here precisely for that. Follow the link to my Patreon. Start with my Sissy test. 100 questions. You won't be able to deceive me. But there is also a free tier with chat. Write me there. Tell me about yourself. I will be waiting for you there. Just start your feminization with one small step.